There's a 10-minute window most people throw away every single time they cook. It happens right after you crush a clove of garlic, and almost nobody knows it exists. Miss it, and you're left with flavor. Catch it, and you're left with one of the most studied immune compounds in the plant kingdom. Here's the strange part. A whole clove of garlic, sitting untouched in your kitchen, doesn't actually contain the compound everyone praises it for. That compound doesn't exist yet. It gets built, on demand, the second you damage the clove. Inside garlic, there are two things kept deliberately apart from each other: an enzyme called allinase and a sulfur compound called allicin. As long as the cell walls stay intact, they never touch. The moment you crush, chop, or bite into raw garlic, that separation breaks down, and the two combine to form allicin, the compound behind garlic's smell, its sting, and most of what science has connected to its effect on the immune system. The problem is timing. Allicin doesn't last. It starts degrading almost immediately, and heat speeds that collapse up dramatically. So if you mince garlic and drop it straight into a hot pan, you're not cooking with allicin. You're cooking with garlic that never got the chance to finish making it. Researchers looking into this exact issue found something that surprised even people already familiar with garlic's reputation. When crushed garlic was left to sit before any heat exposure, allicin levels ended up dramatically higher than in garlic cooked immediately after chopping. The compound needs a runway. Skip it, and you're cutting the chemistry off mid-formation. So what does allicin actually do once it's fully formed and reaches your bloodstream? It interacts directly with immune cells, specifically the ones responsible for hunting down abnormal or infected cells before they multiply. Researchers describe the effect almost like sharpening an already active system rather than switching something on from nothing. Your immune cells don't need to be created. They need to be made faster, more responsive, less likely to miss something they'd otherwise let slide. One clinical trial tracked adults through an entire cold and flu season, giving one group a standardized garlic compound and comparing them against a placebo group. The people were healthy going in. This wasn't about treating illness. It was about reinforcing a system before it was ever tested. And the group with the garlic compound came out the other side with noticeably fewer and milder illness episodes. If you're catching yourself wondering why nobody explained this to you before, that's exactly the reaction this channel exists for. Take a second, like this video, subscribe if this is your first time here. It's the fastest way to tell me you want more of this, not less. Now, here's where it gets more interesting than most people expect. Allicin isn't just talking to your immune cells directly. It's also quieting something running in the background of your body that most people have never heard explained clearly: chronic low-grade inflammation. This isn't the kind of inflammation you feel. It's a constant low-level hum that keeps your immune system slightly distracted, slightly less sharp, like static sitting behind a radio signal. Allicin has been shown to dial down specific inflammatory signaling molecules, toning the static down so the actual signal, your immune response, comes through clearer when it's actually needed. And there's a second pathway almost nobody connects to garlic at all: your gut. A striking percentage of your immune system's activity is coordinated by signals that begin in your digestive tract, not your bloodstream. The sulfur compounds in garlic interact directly with the bacteria living there, and allicin's breakdown products appear to shift that bacterial balance in a direction that supports immune signaling. Garlic isn't just something your gut processes, it's something your gut uses. So here's what actually changes, practically, starting with your next meal. Crush or chop your garlic first, then walk away from it for 10 minutes before it touches heat. This single habit determines whether the chemistry finishes or gets interrupted halfway through.
And it costs you nothing but a little patience. Where you can, leave a portion of your garlic raw. Stir a small amount of crushed raw garlic into a finished dish, a dressing, or a dip, rather than cooking every bit of it. The flavor is stronger, but so is what survives into your bloodstream. And when you do cook with it, add it late, not early. A short stretch of gentle heat after that 10-minute rest preserves far more than garlic sautéed hard from the very first minute in the pan. None of this requires buying anything or changing your diet. It just requires understanding that a piece of garlic isn't finished the moment you cut it. It's finished 10 minutes later, whether you wait for that or not. So next time you're standing at the cutting board, ask yourself, are you giving your garlic those 10 minutes, or are you still cooking it the way you always have, before the chemistry even had a chance to catch up? What about you?
Do you usually cook garlic right after chopping it, or let it sit first? Tell me in the comments. I read every one of them.